Cloud Campus extend a warm welcome to everyone. I'm Dr. Kamalpreet Kaur. Previous lecture, we have seen what is policy, what are the sources of HR policy, what is the feature of HR policy, what are the features of sound HR policy. In this lecture, we'll be looking into what are the areas of HR policy, means what are different perspectives on which a policy of HR is prepared. First one is acquisition of personnel, training and development, appraisal and compensation, human resource mobility, working condition and work schedule, industrial relations. The first one is acquisition of personnel. Acquisition means hiring people. So at that time, it's always decided what should be the education qualification, what are the sources of recruitment, internal sources, external sources of recruitment. Internal sources means whether people from within the organization need to be promoted to the vacant position or whether people need to be hired from outside. Okay, so reservation of position means how much position need to be reserved for various categories or for specially challenged. Okay, so that is reservation of positions. Selection of method. What will be the method of selection? It will be interview, it will be a written test, it will be a technical test, it will be a psychological test. So that's also mentioned. Probation period. Probation is a temporary period for which an employee works for the organization. During this period, he can be asked to leave the organization at any time if he does not perform up to the expectation. So it is a trial period basically. Once the probation period is over, an employee become permanent to the permanent or a candidate become a permanent employee of the organization. Next is training and development. Now there is a difference between training and development. Training is the employee is given training for doing the current job in a better way. Development means he's being developed so that he can do his future job. He become eligible to handle the future jobs in a better fashion if he is promoted. So policy may be related to this also. So the policy may include learning as a continuous or ad hoc process. Continuous means if an organization say in a day, every hour or every half an hour, you have to spend upon your own development. It can be any certification you do, can be anything. So that is a continuous process. Ad hoc process means once in a year, in one day or 2 days, the employees are called, certain sessions are taken so that the skills are developed. So that is ad hoc process. Part time. Organization for providing training and development. So whether training will be from within or there is a tie-up with some external agency, that is written. On the job or off the job training. On the job means training given when the employee is actually doing the work. Off the job is like he's made to sit in a classroom and there is some lecture going on in which the employee is explained how to do a particular task. In company and outside training, of course. In company is within the company itself, there is some arrangement, there is some workshop, and the employee is supposed to go to the workshop and learn. Or outside is suppose certain sometimes there are some small courses being offered by various IIMs or IITs. So an organization will tie up with them and send their employees for training. So that is outside training. Budget for training and development. How much amount is to be spent on each and every employee depending upon the level. So that is also written in policy. And lastly, approaches to measure effectiveness on training and development program. I had a training of 10 hours, I returned back, and now what is my performance, whether it is improved or not. So here the organization will measure whether that, because the organization is spending time and money on it, so organization will but naturally see the effectiveness. So how that effectiveness of training to be measured, that is to be written in the policy. Appraisal and compensation. When we say appraisal, it refers to performance appraisal, how the employee is performing, whether they are able to achieve the targets or not, and depending upon the employee performance, employees are paid, compensated. So method of performance, method of compensation, what should be the compensation package for various levels, what kind of incentives and benefits will be given, degree of appraisal, 360-degree appraisal can be there, wherein the performance of the employee is judged by asking to his superior, asking to his subordinates, to his customers. So it's 360-degree appraisal. Use of appraisal results. Yeah, that is written. Like whatever the outcome is there of performance appraisal, how it is shared with the employee, what course of action is taken. So that is use of appraisal results. Human resource mobility. Mobility means moving from one position to another. So how higher level position will be filled, on what conditions the employee will be promoted, basis of promotion, transfer of employee from one department to another, basis of demotion. It's opposite of promotion. Promotion means a worker, suppose, is made a foreman. It is his promotion. A foreman is not performing properly, not doing his duty, and is made again a worker. He is removed from that position. That is demotion. Retention. That is important. It is necessary for the organization also to retain its employees, because if the organization is spending so much on the training and development of employees, it is necessary for the organization to decide how the employees can be retained so that they do not leave the organization. So what will be the policy related to retention? Working condition and work schedule. This is very important, especially in case of factories or industries. Time, shifts, overtime, degree of safety, leaves to be given. So that should be clear. Industrial relations. Recognition of trade union. What is trade union? It is a group of workers who come together, who form their trade union and get it registered, and then they bargain with the management for the rights of the workers. So recognition of trade union, dealing with the trade unions, measures to be taken to maintain industrial peace. This is important because trade union has a voice. If the management will not listen to them, it will lead to strikes and lockouts. So how they has to be dealt with it. Level at which industrial disputes are to be solved, that need to be clearly mentioned in the policy. And last is degree of discipline to be maintained by the workers, by the trade unions. So these are the references, and for any queries, please write to me at cloudcampus@gmail.com, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Take care.